Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well during this week. As I mentioned, I'm traveling this week, so that's why the setup is less than ideal. But bear with me. On Friday, everything should be back to normal, and it should last like that until end of June, which is my next business trip. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. As you know, that's the only thing that I ask. So thank you very much in advance for your support. Now, markets have been quite stabilizing to green in general. There's a bit of indecisiveness on the next move for Bitcoin. Are we going to go up and start testing the new all-time highs? Or are we going to fail and resume our movement down to close to my targets of 47 to 52K? Now, one thing is for certain, and I think that's obvious to everyone, as soon as the bonds stabilized and started going up, stock market stabilized, started going up, as I've mentioned, 1,000 times in this channel. So always pay attention to the bond market, because that will tell you with great degree of certainty where we're going to go into the future, meaning there's no way in my mind that the bond market can be dropping precipitously like 1% per day and stocks being consistently going up. Now they can go up for 1 or 2 days, that's fine, but I don't think that's going to happen every single day. Next week we're going to have the inflation numbers coming out. I think those numbers can play a big role. I think if we have a strong beat of inflation, I think that can spell some doom for the markets. If we do have a beat in terms of expectations, meaning lower inflation, we can have a big push on risk assets going up, and potentially we will not see Bitcoin going to my price targets if that happens. So at the moment it's a bit of a 50-50 gamble, if you will. As I've mentioned, I think we're going to probably retest and do the same as previous cycles, but I can always be wrong. In any case, I'm already positioned for what I needed, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. But I was just mentioning those levels mostly for people who are here for the first time, and they could start panicking, thinking that the bull market was over, that this was a very aggressive sell-off, blah, 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 just to figure out that eventually, they're actually nothing that special. They're just normal movements within the bull market. And by the way, within bull market, you do have retracements on certain coins of 30, 40%, even 60 and 70% for low cap altcoins. So if you cannot endure the volatility, it's going to be a very painful ride for you. Now, Pulse X and X seem to have stabilized here. We've actually gone up quite a bit in the past few days. We are way behind our price targets, although I do think I am still very positive on Ethereum, which means we are just leverage plays on Ethereum. So I do expect us to do still quite well within the cycle. Pay attention to cycle one narratives. That's what I'm doing. Pay attention to potential new cycle one narratives, deploying some lottery tickets into low market cap coins that are fitting one of the narratives, for example, the Pepe family, if you will. I prefer Ethereum. Why? Because I'm convinced that Ethereum ETF will be approved, and once it's approved, I do think that ecosystem will flourish, and as the liquidity pours in, the more money will flow into the smaller altcoins. So I do think Solana has had its big outperformance moment, and I think Ethereum will be the next one to follow. My personal opinion, that doesn't mean you should go and trade based on it. It's just how I see going forward. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and actually Solana keeps exploding and Ethereum keeps underperforming. I just don't see it, but it's also a possibility. Ethereum approval of the ETF in May, that's been the rumor. To be honest, I really don't think so. I think probably in August, and the SEC is getting quite the heat from Congress. If you guys have seen a bit of the latest news, I encourage you to see. Once again, a lot of people involved in scandal activities, and these are supposed to be the police and the saviors of ourselves. Yeah, right. If you follow this channel, you know very well what the SEC is. It's a bunch of useless, in my view, it's a bunch of guys with, let's call it very weird agendas. Let's be politically correct a little bit here. And I do believe that the ETF will be approved somewhere in August. And when people say, oh, but Michael Saylor said it wouldn't. Yeah, sure. Michael Saylor is all in Bitcoin. So why would he say anything positive about Ethereum? Makes no sense. He's the same person that said Bitcoin was going to fail like online gambling in 2013, and then proceeded to buy Bitcoin, 1,000x more expensive later in his life. So, just keep that in mind, that just because these people are quite well known and quite rich doesn't mean they're gods. So always keep that in mind. Let's keep this one short, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for enduring the suboptimal setup. And don't forget, drop that like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.